Datuk only said that you're This doesn't work. I mean,
it's indeed a joy that we gathered here today to witness the launch of this book on moderation. And we're pleased, actually, very proud to have Nazir Tun Razak here with us. He's surely a voice for moderation, hopefully for New Malaysia, and that we are pleased that he has agreed to be here today. We are so pleased that most of the contributors to the book are present with us to share in this joyous occasion. The book, Moderation, was an idea that came as a part of our ongoing moderation campaign. We believe that the views that we have here in this book will enhance the campaign and make more people aware of what we have in dealing with the forces of extremism. We have been carrying out this campaign for 2 years. It has been very encouraging. Sometimes it's lonely, sometimes we get threatened, sometimes we get sued, but we think that the campaign must go on because we believe that to be called a liberal, to be called progressive, to be called a Democrat, to be called secular is not a crime. And that surely we all believe that we all have our voices and that we need to bring some sense of rationale to this country, and that most of us should continue what we are doing to encourage and to speak on behalf of the silent majority. And we know there are plenty of them out there. Not everyone is prepared to take on this campaign, and to take on this, it needs a little bit of stamina, a little bit of push, but we're prepared to do it. Some of the contributors here today, I know for a fact that who has lost contracts with GLC because he has written and has campaigned for moderation. I know of another lady contributor who has lost her job because that she's committed to being a liberal person. There are many of us here, but in my case, I've been sued and I've eaten the threats for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but it's okay, I'm still alive in one piece. We are prepared to do it. Marina Mahathir gets it all the time. Okay, she has been called all sorts of names, but I really admire her guts for sticking out. I don't know whether she is hyper-liberal or super-liberal or just plain liberal, but thanks for speaking up for Malaysia. When the Star Media Group launched its moderation campaign in 2004, the first question asked was, what do we mean by moderation? Some thought moderation meant that we were taking a neutral stand as a counterpoint to the growing voices of extremism that found the oxygen of publicity through the use of social media. The voices of a few individuals and groups were amplified to the extent there were increasing calls for the silent majority to make their voices heard as well. While there may be one reason which prompted us to start the campaign, our main concern was that public debate on issues has taken a turn for the worse because we do not seem to be able to engage in a discourse that can be considered intellectual. We cannot seem to disagree without being disagreeable. In short, we are pretty bad in having a discourse, in having differing views. We do not seem to be able to debate cleverly. Most of the times, if you see the comments that are posted on social media, it's usually a stand that's running on someone, making a racist remark, or just plain putting someone down. And I think that we're trying to take discourse to a different level, to a much more intellectual level. I know that sometimes we have this sentiment that we are converting the convert. We are reaching out only to the urban listeners, but I don't think it really matters because that we have to continue pushing it because the urban electorate and the urban voices are the influencers. And I think we can shape opinion in a very effective way if we continue what we are doing. We feel that we have come to a point where we tell the world that we are a moderate country. We proudly tell everyone, but many of us in our hearts question, Have we becoming more moderate in Malaysia, or is it just a hollow claim which seems to be diminishing each day? And because of this concern, we feel that more and more we felt the need to have more voices articulated in different platforms, whether it's through a book, whether it's through the essays that's written in the Star, in print version, online, and on video. But for sure that we want to take it a step further in 2017 to have new groups, new forums that will come in to be part of these larger aspects of advocating moderation. And as we move towards 2017, I think this is also a very good time for us to remind ourselves that let us not forget the Rukun Negara, which seems to be a document that is fast been forgotten, even discarded. It's just that nobody dare to say so. But the Rukun Negara, which many of us were forced to memorize by heart, seems to be something that's not even in our history textbooks, and that's quite frightening. I fully support the call that there should be a preamble, a Rukun Negara preamble to our federal constitution. And that is to put a very strong signal that these are the principles that we still support and adhere to. And that includes the call to be liberal and to be progressive and to be democratic, and of course to support and emphasize the point that we are a multiracial country, not mono-ethnic, not mono-religious, and certainly we are not becoming Malaysia, we're not turning Malaysia into Darul Arab, which is our greatest fear. Because we are Malaysian, we are not Arabs, we are not Chinese, we are not North Koreans or South Koreans, but essentially we are Malaysians, and that's something that we really want to push. I wouldn't spend too much time on my speech and talk about moderation. There are enough material here, but I'd like to conclude the speech by thanking one particular person, my colleague Su Eugene. Who has taken the trouble to edit this book. It's not been easy given his health condition. He literally edited this book with one eye, and I think it's still pretty clear. He's still, and that I know that we could have done better in our editing and in our presentation of our books. Some of the pictures should come out better. But I rest assure you that these are the weaknesses that we would correct, because we are very sure that the next edition will come up very fast. I really believe that this book will be on the top list, and that we will rectify these little mistakes and make everybody happy. And that on that note, I just want to say thank you for coming here. Thank you for sharing our belief. Thank you for sharing up and standing up for moderation. Thank you.